What's up, everyone? Welcome to 49ers After Dark, where it used to be dark, but now it's daylight savings time in California. How are you, Jesse?
It's dark here in Tampa, Grant. Just to be clear, it's after dark here in Tampa. So,
That's good to know. It's
half the
it's
show
after
is
dark.
staying true.
It's after dark somewhere.
Yeah, there we
We
go.
have I haven't been streaming much because I felt like I'm afraid of doing a whole hour long stream and then the Niners make a move and everything's dated. But I feel like we're safe now. So it's good to like take stock of where the Niners are after one day of free agency. James Baldwin is a new member, so I want to shout out James Baldwin real quick. And we do have a question from El Penguin. El Penguin saying, "Hot take: Lance has higher ceiling than Watson. Will win more Super Bowls over his career. QED, play the kid." I don't know what QED means, but I've seen it before.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either.
But
But I agree. I mean, I don't know if he'll be better than Watson. Watson's good, but I think to
good.
put your bet on he'll win more Super Bowls, there's a high probability of that because Watson doesn't have any. He's already getting paid 40 million a year, and Lance has multiple years before that starts happening. So, yeah, I would say that's a good chance.
All right. So the name of the show is the latest rumors and reports from day one of free agency. Well, the latest report is that Raheem Mostert is going to the Dolphins. He's reuniting with Mike McDaniel, the Niners run game coordinator for the last 5 years. Uh, what do you think of Mostert going to Miami?
Well, I'll say this. We thought that this was a big possibility, like for number one. But two, it is a bit surprising because they just signed a running back. So you're thinking, okay, well, they got their running back. They signed a fullback today. They're getting things in order. Mostert, I thought, even though he might go to the Dolphins or Jets, 49ers, what have you, I thought that this chip would fall much later. Like Mostert's one of those guys that is going to get a 1 year deal, isn't going to be terribly expensive, which we just saw happen. Usually those guys don't happen on day one of opening season. So I was a little surprised by that. I think the 49ers were probably a little surprised by that. And we'll talk about their plans later and what their early signs in free agency are showing. But I think that they expected Mostert to hang around a little bit. And the fact that he was scooped up very quickly was surprising to them. But this is the move of where he's going, the fit. None of that is surprising. And good luck to Mostert. I hope he does well with Miami. Just not too well.
I hope he stays healthy. He's a hell of a running back. He's from Florida. It makes sense for him,
Yep.
and he's got a good fit in that offense. It's just that he hasn't really been healthy the last 2 years. He was a wide receiver in college. He runs very upright, and it's even though he doesn't have much tread on his tires, he doesn't seem like the most, or he doesn't seem durable at all. So I gotta say that the Niners, I don't fault them for letting Raheem Mostert go. I loved Raheem Mostert, but I think they made the right call. And even though the Niners had like better luck with injuries this year, they've had a long-term problem with that kind of stuff, and they need to like stop investing in players who aren't healthy all the time. So Raheem, good luck. Dolphins, good luck. I think the Niners made the right call here. And really, like once the Niners figured out that Deebo Samuel could do everything Raheem Mostert can do and more, they didn't need Mostert anymore. That's Deebo's role now. Deebo is Mostert. Deebo is Mostert plus. Mostert at his best in 2019 was the backup running back, right? Tevin Coleman was a starter. Mostert was the change of pace guy. You give him just 10 carries a game. One was going a long way. He averaged 7 yards a carry or 6. That's Deebo now. I'm saying. Anyway, good luck, Raheem. I loved you. He was
Well,
a hell of
I'll
a
say
player.
this. Yeah, he is. But I'll say this. We had a conversation about a month ago talking about Elijah Mitchell and what we thought about him, whether he was a go-to back and could he be relied on as the bell cow. And we thought that he was. Other people disagreed with that. I think this is telling you what the 49ers think. They do believe in Elijah Mitchell because Mostert got just over 3 million. They could have paid that. If they really wanted Mostert and felt like they needed him in this offense, they would have paid him accordingly. So to me, I think this is telling you what the 49ers thought of Mostert. Although they like him, the fact that they let him go for so cheap, they believe in Elijah Mitchell. And that's not a bad thing either.
Joe says this is some real BS. Mostert should have stayed. Jimmy needs gone and maybe sign Julio. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it. I just feel like the Niners need to start committing themselves to durable people. Like running backs, it's not even Mostert's fault. He plays running back. What happens when you play running back? You get hurt.
Yeah, of course.
That's what happens. Look at McCaffrey. Look at Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry. Good luck to Miami on this one. I would advise them. They probably should have found the next Mostert. That's what I would say. Find the next Mostert.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ivan says SF will restructure Jimmy Garoppolo for the sole purpose of carrying the boombox out the locker room. Never mind, his shoulder is hurt. He didn't carry that boombox. Who carried that?
I don't see no boombox carrying.
Who carried that boombox? Hey, Jesse, I just got a 12-inch sub in my car in the Stinger. Oh, intense.
Oh, I bet it sounds so good.
What I've noticed is like I don't have the 10. The 10 is punchier, right?
Yeah.
The low end. It's just that
deepness.
Rumble.
It's got that
so nice.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like I'm a big rap fan. And like now I feel like I have to go back and listen to every rap song I've ever liked because I didn't quite appreciate it. Like I didn't quite understand. I'm like, oh, slaps. I get it. Anyway.
What was the first song that you listened to?
Oh, I don't know. I have an eclectic taste. My favorite rapper right now is this 22-year-old Japanese dude from Oakland named Seiji Oda. And I thought I liked his stuff, but I was listening to it like on earbuds at the gym, and now I realized that his stuff freaking slaps. So shout out to Seiji. The Bay is the only spot in the world that has Asian rappers who are really, really dope. I mean, there's Pilo, who was like the official Niners rapper with that Same Squad song 3 years ago. There's also Seiji, and then there's Ezale, who's like an Oakland legend. He only makes songs like once every 5. We wouldn't probably know about Ezale, but anyway, I'm just saying it's a quirk of the Bay Area. Asian rappers, and they're dope.
Asian rappers, man.
Asian rappers.
Is that where did Jin come from? You remember Jin from back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah,
he was probably from New York. That was like 20. Okay. He was a battle rapper, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
No, we don't do battle raps out here.
I think he's a Christian rapper now.
Good for him. Said him and Mace. Chavi says, "Damn, Jesse, looking fresh with that cut. You look good. You play good. Time to be CB1." I like.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's a Jerry Rice quote for sure. You look good. You play good.
His name. Hold on. I'm gonna put his name in the chat box. Seiji Oda. Seigi.
People asking about him?
Yeah, check him out on Twitter. He's my favorite rapper right now. He's like this 22-year-old dude from Oakland. He's killing it. Seiji Oda. Anyway,
but don't tell Pilo.
I also like Pilo too. Shout out Pilo. I'm Pilo hype. All right. So the Niners have Jimmy Garoppolo. They're trying to trade him. They have Trey Lance. That's the plan for the future. But every time a quarterback is available, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson, it's like, oh, are the Niners in the market? Why are these rumors constantly swirling around the Niners?
Well, first of all, the 49ers should feel flattered because only the best quarterbacks are rumored to go to San Francisco. It's not like when Carson Wentz was available, they're like, I don't know, could he be a 49er? Baker Mayfield, here we go. But no, it's the best quarterback. So one, that tells you the standard in the organization, the greatness that's expected. But, I think this is the 49ers' fault. And they were very quick to come out and shut down that Deshaun Watson rumor. Very quick. How fast did Mayoko and some of these other guys branch? These guys came out immediately and tried to put out that fire. Obviously, that is the 49ers reaching out saying, no, we have no interest in Deshaun. That's not what we're doing here. But the 49ers only can blame themselves because they have not come out at any point and said, Trey Lance is our quarterback. We love Trey Lance. He is the starter. That's it. He's what we're moving forward with. And so because of that, you leave the door open for all these rumors. And the 49ers having a great team, very good roster, I should say that. Having a very good roster, why wouldn't great players want to come and put this team over the top? Right? They're saying, okay, well, I'm a great quarterback. This is a very good roster that's ready to win. If I go there, we are winning a Super Bowl. You're having some major difficulty there with the
Wait a
camera.
minute, I just got this 4K. Anyway, here we go. Sorry, here we go.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
I don't know.
You'll figure it out. There's a lot that goes into it. But
Sorry.
yeah, so to me, this is the 49ers' fault. They haven't put out these fires by announcing Trey Lance as the quarterback.
Yeah, but at the same time, like a quarterback like Trey Lance, everyone compares him to Josh Allen, right?
Mm.
Josh Allen went to a straight up rebuilding team where they had time. They're like, hey, take 3 years. Let's learn together. Let's grow together. Trey didn't go to a team like that. Everyone, I think, even if you like Trey, they were like, how are you on the Niners timeline? The Niners are supposed to be winning right now. You're a project. Not like a project in the sense that like you just lack experience. And he may need less playing time. He might be better than we expect, but still, like, you'd be better off going to a team that's like has a coach in his first year where you guys can grow together. And so I think a lot of people felt that probably last year Watson was the Niners' first choice before that whole thing blew up in his face, and the Niners probably pivoted. I mean, I can't get over the fact that the day the Niners drafted Lance, that morning, before they committed all those resources to him, they called up Green Bay and was like, hey, could we trade for Aaron Rodgers?
True,
It
that's
was
a
like
fact.
right before asking a girl out, you hit up your ex. It was like, hey, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? It was like, really? Like, that's messed up. So how committed are you to Trey? I like Trey Lance a lot, but like from the Niners perspective, with Trey Lance as their starter, they have the sixth best odds to win the Super Bowl according to Vegas,
For
whatever
sure.
that means. They had Watson, they'd be number one tomorrow. For real.
Yeah,
They know
they
that.
no, we 100%. They had Watson, Rodgers, or Brady.
Exactly. So how do you like not even consider that?
But I mean, they kind of were, it sounds like, right? Like they were the wording was very specific, right? You pointed this out to me that the wording was very specific. They said that they're not meeting with Watson. That is very different than I have no interest in Watson, which is what other people are reporting. There is no refute to that.
It's like if you're married and like Halle Berry hits you up in like 97 and you're like, look, I'm not flirting with Halle Berry, okay? But I'm just saying, if she hit me up and was like, let's get married, I might have to do that because she's on my list. Because it's Halle Berry. But I'm not actively pursuing Halle Berry. But I'm telling you, dear, that if she were to pursue me, how could I say no? That's basically what the Niners are saying, right? Like, look, I'm not trying to cheat on you, but if it's Halle Berry. So if Halle Berry hits me up, I'm just gonna have to make, a decision that any man would make. That's basically what they're saying. Am I wrong?
So you're not actively seeking Halle Berry, but if
No,
Halle Berry
I'm
seeks
not
you,
pursuing
okay,
her.
I get it.
But if
Yeah,
Halle Berry were to pursue me
yeah, I get it.
in 1997, who am I? I'm just one man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically what the Niners are saying. That's what they're saying, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's true. It is a good point.
It's all
Yes.
about like, I'm not trying, I'm not cheating, you're not flirting. Like, yeah, but if she presses the issue, if Deshaun Watson presses the issue, like, well, I'd be stupid. Of
It's
course,
the whole argument.
of course.
It's the whole lying versus telling the whole truth argument, right? Like, no, I'm not lying. I didn't tell you
That's
everything.
why it
That's
was
different.
important to say they're not meeting. I did
Right.
not flirt with her. We didn't
Right.
hang out.
Exactly.
I don't even know Halle Berry. I don't know Halle like that. But if she was hitting me up, I'm like, it's Halle. So I don't.
Right.
But they
No,
haven't met up.
no,
They
I think
haven't
you're
met
on
up
point.
yet. Look, the Niners. They have Debo. They have Kittle. They have Mitchell. They have Ayuk. They have Trent Williams. They have Kyle. And the defense is even better. So
Yeah.
what quarterback wouldn't want to come here? I mean, it's obvious, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you're right.
one more thing. Every time the 49ers think about making a big move for a veteran quarterback and they don't, that dude wins in the Super Bowl the next freaking year. Am I wrong? It was Tom Brady first. They were like, no, Tom. Super Bowl for him. And then it was Stafford. They were like, and the Rams pulled the trigger, and then he won the Super Bowl. If the Niners don't go after Watson, the team he goes to absolutely could win the Super Bowl next year. He's that freaking good. If he goes to the Saints, if he goes to the Colts, that team could win the Super Bowl because he's legitimately a top 3 quarterback in the league.
Even Cleveland's a good roster if he ends up with really the only team I look at. I think the Panthers have a good roster. The only team that he could go to that's sniffing around, it seems, is Atlanta. That's the only team that's not in contention to win a Super Bowl next year with him on it. So
I'm not going to say the allure of Atlanta. I'm not going to even go there. Trey Niners says, what happened to the hype about all these players wanting to play for Kyle? It's not looking that way. Or are the Niners just cheap to pay these guys? They're cheap. Cheap.
You're like a bird. Cheap, 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 cheap.
Hey, they wanted Chandler Jones but couldn't get him. How come?
They're in on everybody, Grant. You've seen the reports.
No one has kicked tires harder or better than John Lynch ever. This dude is out here kicking tires all day. Where's John? Oh, he was kicking some tires. He kicked 48 tires in the last hour. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. Constantly kicking the tires, but not really pulling the trigger. Any chance our Niners get Brady or Watson? I'm exhausted with all the Quibi rumors. It seems like Brady's probably stuck in Tampa, but I think Watson's going to actually get himself out of Houston. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't see either one of these coming true. For sure, Brady's staying in Tampa. It's funny because when Brady came back and announced he was coming back, a lot of people thought that would re-spark the rumors. It has not at all. There's zero rumors there. And he's been actively recruiting players to come to Tampa Bay. So
El Jefe says media needs to be thought respect for Lance. I don't get it. But yeah, I respect Lance. I like Lance.
Maybe
but
Todd.
I can't fault the Niners for talking to Halle Berry if Halle Berry's, hitting them up. Mostert on the Dolphins now, Grant. We talked about it. Good luck, Miami. I would love to see Trey Lance train with Josh Allen instead of Zach Wilson. Says Froylan.
It's more about it's not who he's training with, it's who's training him. That's what's important.
Yeah. Nishant Pandya says, with Mostert gone, which free agent running back would you acquire? None! I would never, ever, ever, ever sign a free agent running back. Draft him. Sign him. I would sign an undrafted free agent. I'm just saying.
I'm drafting a running back round 5, 6, or 7 every year. Every single year. That's what I'm doing.
That's what you got to do. Jesse, that Moco did Gorilla Gel on much love, says Jonathan Chavez. I like his. I'm over.
It's Crew Fiber. It's Crew Fiber. That's what I use.
There's nothing wrong with using product. I use a little product here and there sometimes.
Got to.
Ben Poole says Lance for Watson. JD trade value increased. See, that's the thing. I don't know that Houston wants. I think that's the major holdup here. I feel like Houston's like, we like Davis Mills, and they could be wrong, but they haven't seen Trey Lance in practice. No one has seen Trey Lance. He's the man behind the curtain. The Niners are hiding him. They've seen Davis Mills. I like Davis Mills. He seems like Jimmy Garoppolo with a little bit of mobility and maybe some football IQ, which is an interesting thought. I kind of like Davis Mills, so it's interesting. I don't know if they're going to figure it out.
I feel like Lance, if he had stayed in college, would have more value to these teams than if the 49ers put him out on the market right now.
Ryan says, my wife gave me permission to cheat with Halle Berry given the opportunity. That's what I'm saying.
Ryan's interested. He's not meeting, but he's interested.
I'm not hitting up Halle Berry, but Trey, you gotta understand that if Halle Berry hit me up, she's on the list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel you, Ryan. Watson for TL. Bosa 2022 second. Would Houston do it? Damn.
Yeah, they would probably do it. And that's what it would take. Realistically, it would be Bosa, Trey Lance, and probably a pick. Yes, I agree. Yeah, and I wouldn't do it.
Jimmy McGlinchey, Kinlaw, a third, a sixth to Houston for Watson, a fifth. Trey Lance, Atlanta for Pitts. Whoa, that's a lot.
That's a lot. There's no way that they would do that. Why would they take the 49ers' biggest piles of crap and be like, yeah, we'll give you Deshaun Watson and then Lance for Pitts? Like, there's no way.
Jimmy Garoppolo, only if we get McGlinchey and Kinlaw too.
Wait a minute. The sixth, though. The sixth is really the cherry on top.
No, I appreciate you.
No, that was super. Hey, that would be a great scenario, but there's no way that they're doing it.
Jesse, lay out a Deshaun Watson trade scenario that works against the 49ers the most.
Okay, so the topic that's been going around, and everybody has our opinions on this by this point, is did the 49ers overplay their hand? Yes, I think so. But this is a different way of looking at it. There is a way for sure that they have overplayed their hand. I look at it and say, okay, Baker Mayfield has basically written a letter, quite figuratively, out of Cleveland. And Jimmy Garoppolo, they might get saved by Jimmy going there. Like, that's a suitor that came out of left field. They probably didn't expect. Maybe it works out and the 49ers look really, really good because of it. Because it seems like, well, Pittsburgh already pulled themselves out of it. Indianapolis is close to doing so. They keep talking about every other quarterback. So Cleveland now has entered the fray. I feel like there's a chance there for them. However, if Watson goes to Cleveland, that is the worst case scenario for the 49ers because Watson goes there, Baker Mayfield goes to, let's say, Indy, then what? What is left? Because the Saints are going to sign Jameis Winston back. That's almost a done deal. Seattle was never in the Jimmy Garoppolo sweepstakes. They're probably looking at a Mariota at that point. Then what is left? Who else is out there? The Panthers? You really think the Panthers, being the only team involved, are going to give up anything for Jimmy Garoppolo? So to me, that is the worst case scenario on this whole trading Jimmy Garoppolo front.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see it. I don't see it. What do you think?
I don't think so either. I think that they're lucky because I don't think Watson wants to go to Cleveland. Like, let's be real. Who wants?
He already
to go
ruled
to
him
Cleveland?
out. He already ruled him out.
Did he rule him out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he did. I think he
Okay.
did. So I mean, it seems to me that like if you were Deshaun Watson, where would you want to play?
I'd go to New Orleans.
Or
I'm going to the Big Easy. Or I'm going to Carolina.
how about the
He
49ers?
probably Indianapolis. Well, okay. Well, listen, he has interest in the 49ers. That much is true. Like, that has been said multiple times. The question is the interest mutual? Well, they're not taking meetings, Grant. So
yeah, man, the Niners aren't interested in the third best quarterback in the league. They're like, nah, man, screw you. We don't like you at all. I just feel like Deshaun Watson, like, got a top 5 defense: Debo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, George Kittle. If you want to win a Super Bowl, if you want to be something serious, what do you want to do, man? I like how the Niners are setting it too. Like, they told Jim Trotter, I think, they're like, look, he hits us up. If he's about that championship life, he wants to do something serious, he can hit us up. Let him know. He could tell Houston I think it was pretty gangster what the Niners did. They're like, look, we're not moving a freaking inch for you, Deshaun. I don't know who you think you are. We're not moving a damn inch for you. But you want to join our team? Tell Houston to work it out because we're not moving. I mean, we got something you should want. I thought it was gangster. I liked it what they did. They're like, damn, Deshaun, you like us too? So does everybody. So does Aaron Rodgers. Do you know how many times we've told no to Tom Brady? Tom's calling us every night like, hey, man, let's work it out. I'm like, nah, I'm sorry. It's your personality. It's just not, we don't vibe like that. Like, we've been literally telling Tom Brady, chill, we're good. So, I mean, we like you though. We're kind of interested in you. Like, I think it's pretty cool, man. Let's see what they do. All right. Just like it's exactly how Too Short played. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna just put you on a pedestal like that, Deshaun. Like, you got some issues, man. Like, I don't know. Like, we could probably work it out, but I don't know. We got other things working on for. We really like Trey Lance. In fact, we really like Trey Lance. I love how the Niners are playing this right now. Like, damn, Deshaun, how desperate are you? You want to join our team? Well, there's something you should know about us. Players. I think it's pretty cool.
Hey, well, maybe you're right about the Deshaun Watson thing. I was just looking it up. I can't see anything that says that they're out. In fact, I was just reading something that says indications are Browns are possibly the favorites to land Deshaun Watson, which, again, worst case scenario. 49er fans, do not root for this to happen. That is the worst thing that can happen with this Jimmy Garoppolo trade. I'm telling you.
I'd rather play in Houston than play in Cleveland.
I don't know, man. That's tough.
Just off
That's
cities
tough.
alone. Like, have you been to Cleveland? Have you been to Houston? I'm just saying.
Yes, off cities alone for sure.
Matthew Bowman says going to be funny when someone trades the bag for Watson and he gets suspended all season. Just saying, don't do it Niners trade time. He already sat out last season. How many games can you suspend a dude who didn't get indicted and is not going to be charged for a damn thing? I mean, I know everyone feels it's weird what he did. No one really knows. There's no evidence. But really, like 2 seasons and he didn't get charged of anything? It seems a little extensive.
Problem
Excessive.
is, he didn't technically get suspended by the NFL, from what I understand. It just sat him.
Well, they could retroactively. I'm just saying, like, enough. Brandon Ziegler says, people say the dumbest stuff on here, man. No one is ever going to accept that trade. Shaking my freaking head. Anyway, your man, Grant, made this YouTube act just a sub to you. Thank you, Brandon.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Sean says, sadly, Jimmy Garoppolo is a pile of trash nobody wants.
Well, you said it.
You said it. Seems like that's what we're learning. The Titans cut Julio Jones. He's a free agent. He has ties to Kyle Shanahan. Those two work magic together, like Hall and Oates or other duos who were good. Should the 49ers sign not Hall and Oates, Julio Jones?
Well, let me read this from July 7th, 2021. This was Shanahan talking about his worry about Julio going to NFC West rival the Los Angeles Rams. He says Julio would have helped everybody, but you know what it's doing to your organization for that year and years to come. That's a really risky thing, but man, if Sean's getting him, I'm going to risk that. Meaning he would go in and try to undercut that. I know that's how he thinks. That's how we all think. You've got to compete with your division first. He likes Julio Jones. He's also said many other great things about Julio, talked about how he's a game changer. Julio's one of a kind in his own stratosphere, basically, as a wide receiver. I think the 49ers are going to make a real serious run to get Julio, especially knowing what the cost is now. It's not going to be a lot at this stage of his career. I think the 49ers should sign Julio Jones. If they can get him for cheap, man, I say do it. Here's the thing, right? I don't think, like, I really like Jennings. And in fact, the players on the team like Jennings. You heard Fred Warner come out and say that Jennings is one of the best football players on the team. It's not that I want to push a player like that down the chart, but if Julio Jones is your third best option at this stage in his career, is that the worst thing in the world? This team does need more wide receivers. They should definitely go after him. Should they overpay for Julio? No. But should they try to sign him? Yeah, I think they should.
Yeah, try. Give him like a 1-year deal for like $2 million. I mean, I don't know. He played 10 games last year and 9 games the year before that. He's 33. I'm 34. I feel old as hell, Jesse. Honestly, my back hurts. This dude is 33. He's played 19 games the last 2 years. Yeah, for a certain price, for not phenomenal. Absolutely. Like if he wants to reunite with Kyle Shanahan, you know, like they can like run on the beach and embrace in slow motion like Rocky. You know what I'm saying? If they want to do that, then yeah, absolutely. But no, he's a little old for me. And for the same reason, I was like, yo, Raheem Mostert, thanks, but no thanks. You gotta stop, wishing on a star that guys who get hurt will stop getting hurt. At least from the 49ers perspective. I think he'd be a great addition for any other team that doesn't have that history. But I'm not taking for granted the fact that the Niners injury issue wasn't as big last year. I would say, Julio, good luck. Good luck.
Here's the thing with Julio, and this is why I like the position, is if something happened to Julio, you still have Jennings, right? And I think that's a good spot to be in. I also look at it and say, I look at a team like the Packers and say, oh man, I don't want Julio playing opposite of Devontae Adams and trying to beat that team in the playoffs.
Good point.
If Julio is healthy with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, that's not a good thing to go against. So just little things that I look at, right?
I was going to say I'd rather get someone like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but that's a guy who misses games too. Like he played 11 games last year. So, I mean, he's younger, he's faster. Hard to say. I think it's all relative, like depending on what if they get Julio Jones at a bargain because he loves Kyle, then do that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Nick says, "Yo, G and J appreciate your work, but Watson's bad news. Cola Bear from a liability and business aspect. Trade Greenlaw, sign Warner, put around the kid, and dump Jimmy no throw." Um, yeah, it is interesting with Deshaun Watson. Like, if the Niners trade for him, not all fans will be happy, and there will be a lot of backlash from media, local and national. And if they win the Super Bowl, still some fans won't be happy. It's very interesting, right? It's almost, I don't know.
It is interesting because I remember talking about this last year and how important this was, and people at the time kind of laughed it off. But Trey Lance being as clean cut as he is, that's a big deal. Like being the face of a franchise is extremely important, and quarterbacks are usually that guy. And so for Trey Lance to be that guy, knowing how great he's been thus far, knowing his background, you never truly know these guys, but you feel pretty confident that he's going to keep his nose clean. Now, we did think that about Watson. I think it's fair to say that probably everybody thought the same thing about Watson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, things have gone differently. Whether he's guilty, not get none of that really applies because there is the court of public opinion and that exists. And so the fact that he would be the face of the franchise and you'd be dumping a kid who can carry that torch in a positive manner, yeah, I think a lot of people would be upset.
Keith Murphy says Watson still got pay grant. They want some money, so he's definitely getting suspended. Yeah, I think most people expect that he might get suspended for 6 games.
Yeah.
Michael Jolly, thank you. Trey Niner says, sucks Jimmy cost us Tom and Watson and Stafford.
Yeah.
To a degree. And Chandler Jones and JC Jackson. It's just catching up on the stream. The disrespect to not mention lyrics born with other Asian rappers. We're going to stop the stream and give him a spin. Here's $10 to get you. I know who lyrics born is. I'm not really a big fan of lyrics born. Sorry, but respect. Thing about lyrics born is that I don't know if he's still making music, but I wanted to use that line from Zoolander. He makes it, and I respect that.
I respect that.
Do I listen to his music? I don't really listen to his music, but he makes it, and I respect that. Watson innocent until proven guilty, didn't even get indicted. That's what I'm saying.
For sure. But there is still the court of public opinion still matters. It really none of that is important. Okay.
True.
Because you look at Ben Roethlisberger, right?
Yep.
Some people love Ben Roethlisberger, but some people still play on his name in a not so nice way, right? Like this is the way that it is. And so once you get wrapped up in those things, guilty or not, people have opinions. And that does matter. It absolutely does matter when it comes to selling tickets and making money, which is ultimately what's important to these owners, more so than it is to win games. I guarantee it.
All right, I got a question for you. By holding on to Jimmy Garoppolo and making it seem like things are going according to plan and they're going to get what they want or more, are the Niners setting expectations higher on a Jimmy G trade?
I think they are, man. I spend a lot of time with the fans and Twitter spaces talking through these things, and I can tell you they're anxious. Like fans are extremely anxious. They genuinely feel like Jimmy at this point is costing them big name players, like you said, JC Jackson, other Hassan Reddick, whatever, who else is out there. But they feel like with him being on this roster, it's handcuffing them going out and getting other players. Now, whether that's true or not, that doesn't matter. That is the opinion right now. And the expectation is, especially with I think it was Middlecoff that came out and said a second round pick was on the table. Whether that's true or not, you tie those two things together. I think absolutely people are expecting that they get a lot more for a Jimmy Garoppolo trade. If they keep him another week, Grant, all these other free agents go off the board and they leave with, I don't know, 2/4. You think people are going to be happy with that? I don't. I think people would probably be like, yeah, you probably should have just cut him, eaten the $7.5 million until next year and gotten some really good players. That's what I think people are going to expect. So if they don't get at least a second at this point, yeah, I think they are really hurting themselves when it comes to this fan base and what their expectations are at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're gonna hold on to him expressly so they don't take a big hit. Like they're afraid of people like me saying, "Ha ha, you lost the trade,"
Mm.
when they need to just move on. And what they're gonna do potentially is hold on to him for an entire year. Like rather than trade him for a fourth round pick and be embarrassed, you'll just never trade him. Take a comp, third round comp next year. Like, sweet. You won. You didn't lose the trade, but you also didn't create cap space you could have used to go all in and win the Super Bowl. Like, what are you doing? Are you ever going to actually make this final push to go over the top? Or are you going to be content with being one of the team? Like, I seem like the Niners are cool with just being a Super Bowl, a playoff team. We'll get to the playoffs, and then anything could happen. Yeah, I guess. Why don't you just take matters into your own hands like the Rams do?
If they had gotten rid of Jimmy last offseason and not spent that money, they could have $50 million right now going into this free agency. Guys like Chandler Jones, maybe not Von Miller, that was ridiculous what he got paid, but Chandler Jones, Hassan Reddick, JC Jackson, they could have went out and got two of those guys easily, but they chose not to. And so now they're letting this thing linger and linger and linger. I they don't have the autonomy at this point. If they had done this, I don't know, 10 days ago and said, hey, we're going to cut Jimmy, knowing that they weren't going to get anything, and said, all right, we're going to cut him because we respect him. We want him to be able to choose his next destination. For us, it's about creating salary cap space. That's what we're getting. Thank you, Jimmy, for all the memories, and moved on. I think that would have been more respected than what they're doing now if they don't get a big haul, or at least what people think they should get at this point by holding on to him.
TJW says, Grant, how did quality control miss on Tom Compton? He's going to the Broncos when I thought he was the only in the NFL because of Kyle. Fair. When I watch training camp, remember, there's no tackling. So it's hard to judge run blocking, run defense. It's pretty much like passing. So what I saw from Tom Compton is he was an atrocious pass blocker. So is Mike McGlinchey. Those guys in the NFL for their run blocking, that's how I missed it. So Denver, good luck. But if you expect that dude to block anyone on 3rd and 8, ha! Tom freaking Compton just went to Denver. LMAO says Daniel. Yeah, pretty much. That Niner guy says, of course we are anxious. Spreadsheet said we was better than Tom Brady. Should get at least 12 ones. I don't know what
He
you're
did say
talking about.
that. He did say that.
All right, next topic. What else is early free agency telling us about what the 49ers will do?
Yeah, well, I think a couple things are starting to become pretty crystal clear, right? Like the 49ers went and got their corner, and that probably makes some other things fall into place. We know that they're probably going to be a little bit frugal going down the stretch. The fact that they didn't just sign Raheem Mostert at $3 million also lends some a peek behind the curtain there. But I also look at players like Jason Verrett, and I think Jason Verrett now becomes easier to sign because you don't have to rely on him so much, right? He's going to be inexpensive. He's going to be the 4th corner on the list. So if he doesn't ever get healthy, it's not as big of a deal versus having to rely on him as a starter or your 3rd corner. And then I would say that the other thing is this, is that they're probably going to fill out their roster, try to fill out their roster with guys that were already on this team. I think that they're waiting for guys like Arden Key to hit the open market. Well, he has, but these guys to hit the open market, come back to the 49ers and say, hey, this is what I'm being offered. And they're going to play that game first, especially while Jimmy's on this roster. Try to fill out the roster with guys that are already here. And if these guys price themselves out, then they'll go Goodwill shopping in 2 weeks and figure things out. I think that they're being very crystal clear what they want to do at this point. And I don't necessarily think it's the worst idea in the world. You only have so much money to spend, but I think that this is the plan at this point.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense to me. Jason Verrett would be a nice little addition. Absolutely. I think they need to make. I feel like they're downgrading at 4 big positions, and they gotta find something. Like they're downgrading at nose tackle, left guard, strong safety, nickelback, and they're gonna try to sell us on Aaron
Nickelback,
Banks.
that band's better than Smash Mouth also, right?
They are.
Just want to be clear.
No. I would take Smash Mouth over Nickelback because Nickelback had kind of 6 what happened on the anyway. Nose tackle, left guard, strong safety, Nickelback. They got to address those things. Like they're really going to sell us on Diamador Lenore, Talanoa Hufanga, Aaron Banks, and Javon Kinlaw. Like no. Well, and they signed Hassan Ridgeway today, which is like the insurance policy for Kinlaw. So where's the insurance policy for Banks? Where's the insurance policy for Lenore? And I don't want an insurance policy for Talanoa. Like I want a playmaker at strong safety, a good or not. Hold on, I'm gonna change that. I want Jimmy Ward to play strong safety because I like Jimmy Ward to run the line of scrimmage. I like him in coverage. I think the Niners should get a free safety. I think they should move Jimmy Ward to strong safety and get a free safety who intercepts passes. Can we get the next Merton Hanks, please? Can we get one playmaker in this freaking second? One. Would be great spot. Bringing a free safety. I don't know if the Niners are thinking that way.
I know a guy.
Who?
That I've been wanting all offseason.
Who?
I don't know. Tyrann Mathieu.
Pretty perfect. I think Tyrann Mathieu and Jimmy Ward would be a hell of a duo.
The best.
Really good. Jason says probably going after Hooper and Jones for Kyle. Oh man, just recreating Atlanta.
Hey, you know what's better, Grant? You know what's better than running back the 2019 season 4 times over? Running back the 2017 season, 2016 season.
Ivan says Watson plus Asian massage equals bad formula. No Bay Area. I was thinking with someone like Deshaun, who's been even accused of something like this. Like, how could you ever get a massage ever again? They're like, oh, Deshaun Watson. Oh no, I don't think so. Like, how could you even do that? Right?
Yeah,
everyone knows.
It's got to be private masseuse forever.
Any other Asian rapper Rex? Okay, yeah, I'll write them in just so that people know. It's Pilo, who all Niner fans should know. Ezale, who is an Oakland legend, and Seiji Oda, who's like a young Oakland up and coming dude. There you go. Thank you for asking for your $2. Boom. Anything else? We have one more topic. Boom. All right, here we go. So I'm down on the Niners offseason so far, but I haven't been paying attention to the other NFC West off seasons. Apparently they've been worse. Jesse, tell me about it.
Yeah, I think this is what we do as fans, right? And rightfully so. We look at our team and say, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. They're not getting any better. They just lost their left guard, their defensive tackle. They got to rely on 2 guys that don't seem like you should be able to rely on them. Who's this Travarius Ward guy? What's going on? But reality is, even if they've stayed roughly the same, they've gotten better just because the other teams in the NFC West have gotten much worse. First of all, we know what happened to Seattle. Absolutely done. Russell Wilson's gone. Bobby Wagner's gone. That team is a completely different team going forward. So them aside, Chandler Jones just left Arizona.
Not great.
That is a huge. That's like, hey, Bosa's not going to be on the 49ers anymore. He went to the AFC West. That's what happened over there. That's a huge loss, not to mention the rest of the turmoil that's going on over there. So that is a big loss. They also lost one of their running backs to Miami, much like the 49ers lost Mostert. But then you look at the Rams. Whitworth retired, which we expected. Von Miller is gone. And I believe they just lost one of their starting corners today as well. So the Rams, who, by the way, don't like the 49ers have this to fall back on. They have a ton of draft picks now, right? They may not have a first round pick, but they have a ton of draft picks. They can go draft a bunch of players to help fill out the rest of this roster, even if they do almost nothing else in free agency. The Rams, in stark contrast, have nothing. Like, if they don't land in free agency, they have no picks, basically. I don't think they have a first, a second, or a third rounder unless they got comp picks. So the Rams are in a bad spot. Now, they just won the Super Bowl, so everybody has to catch them, but they're not getting any better. The Cardinals aren't getting any better. And the 49ers have stayed roughly the same. They've, kicked some positions around, but they can get better through the draft. So to me, right now, it's very, very early, way too early to call. But right now, the 49ers are big winners in free agency because the rest of the NFC West has gotten a little bit worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, relatively speaking, that's interesting. And again, they could get Deshaun Watson. You know, I'm down on the Niners offseason because I feel like they held on to Jimmy Garoppolo for no good reason, and that cost them J.C. Jackson, Chandler Jones, maybe both. But relatively speaking, it's an interesting way to look at it. What the hell have the Arizona Cardinals done? What the hell have the Rams done? Now, the Seahawks, they just traded away their franchise. And it may be the right move long term, but it's hard to see them being big players next year unless they get Deshaun Watson. So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
And Deshaun, that was the other thing, right? A lot of people expected Deshaun Watson to end up in Seattle. That seems to be further from the truth than any of these teams. Like San Francisco, this spot has more of a chance to land Deshaun Watson than Seattle. So that right there is a huge win for the 49ers. So yeah, I think everybody else getting a little bit worse. And let's also not forget the 49ers, at least in our opinion, are upgrading pretty big time at the quarterback position. We're not really taking that into account. We're just looking at like who's lost, who's been gained so far. But the 49ers have upgraded at the most important position in football with Trey Lance. And if that's the case, they're in a better spot automatically because of that.
Agree. This is the year of Jalen Hurd. I doubt it. That fool really was just hanging on. I don't think he's going to make a comeback.
I don't think so either. He's done.
Rome 33 says, saying the same stuff since 95 and still no ring. Can we go all in for once? F the draft. Ask the Lamb. Sorry, just frustrated. You know, when the Niners won in 95, that was a major all-in push. It wasn't just Dion, but it was also Ken Norton Jr., if I remember correctly. I mean, they were unsatisfied with their losses the previous years. And I respect it.
I mean, they went all in. I mean, I don't think you can go more all in than the best cornerback in NFL history.
The Darkness says Jimmy no trade clause is up today. Now they can send Mr. Glass anywhere, and they won't. And yet they won't.
Here's the problem. They're still trying to play nice with Jimmy for whatever reason. They don't owe him anything. So
It's
but
weird.
the no trade clause had no bearing. I think a lot of people were excited about that. It had no bearing on what's happening right now. I promise you.
It's like when you're dating a popular girl and you're afraid that you're gonna dump her and like she's gonna like slander your name. Like it's like I don't
She
want
knows
her
all
to,
the secrets.
yeah, I don't want her to talk me down to all the other girls in the school. So like I gotta let her down. That's the vibe I'm getting. I was like, look, you're really popular and I'm quite attracted to your friend. So I'm trying to not antagonize you totally. Am I wrong here? That's kind of how I see it.
So you can't just write her a quick letter with a Stussy S on it and call it a day. That's not how that works.
I don't think so. Scotty Martinez says to be accused equals automatic guilt. Bad NFL rules. We didn't say that. We didn't say that. But bad NFL rules, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
A lot of people upset that Tom Compton going to Denver. Don't worry, the Niners have Mike McGlinchey, everyone. All right. That's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching. Things will be changing rapidly. Free agency just started. Bobby, thanks for becoming a member. I'll be back tomorrow as the world turns in Ninerville.
There you go. Hey, come over to Last Second Sports. 7 minutes call-in show. Tap in.
Yeah, the late show. After
Late
dark,
show.
way after dark. See you guys there. Peace, everyone.